Love is unassailable power and cannot be defeated. December 20, 2016. As you all know, as all life forms presently incarnate on earth know, and yes you do know, all is flowing along as divinely planned. You will have new avenues of growth to explore as your spiritual awareness and acceptance of your knowing of the constant and unimpeded divine love flow strengthens, releasing the doubts and self-disparagements that you have held closely to your hearts for far too long. It has been an invalid self-judgment that has caused you much pain and suffering over the eons, as you attempted to abase yourselves before the unreal authority figure you had invented to replace your loving source. Instead, just open to the reality that you are dearly beloved children of God in an eternal and unchanging relationship with Source and with all of God's perfect creation. Accept yourselves unconditionally as God does. It truly is insane not to. There is only love, and with it, the unconditional acceptance of all divinely created beings. And all are divinely created beings, because God created all that exists. There are no unacceptable beings. All are the beloved children of God. What God creates is perfect, and that perfection is eternally unchanging. Self-disparagement and self-judgment are extremely negative aspects of the illusion that your egos encourage enthusiastically. Your egos are the little personal selves you imagined into being, to fill and operate your human forms. That is their only purpose. They are like a closed-off or fenced-off aspect of your true self that you set temporarily aside to deal with the illusion and your human forms within it. That aspect needs to have its many files and folders deleted to return it to its pristine state, so that it may be reintegrated with the oneness that you all are. God's love is the field of life, of full consciousness, to which all conscious entities are eternally connected in an inseparable and utterly joy-filled relationship. To be alone, separated, abandoned, forgotten, or unseen is impossible because God, Source, the Creator, is infinitely aware of and forever in communication with all of creation in every moment. Your individual sense of any personal inadequacies, incompetence, unworthiness, unlovableness, sinfulness, shame, and the resultant ostensible divine disconnect from Source, are all constructs of the ego with which it attempts to keep you separated and dependent on it. But it is nothing. Many of you have given your power away to it, allowing it to disparage and judge you, and then accepting those disparaging and false judgments. Every time you become aware that you are making negative self-judgments, stop. Then remind yourselves that you are perfect divine beings, at one with your Source where there is only love. You have all at some time in your lives loved a child or an animal unconditionally, delighting in its simplicity while never judging it. Its behavior might well have been unruly and messy, but that did not cause you to cease loving it, even for a moment. God's love for you is way beyond any unconditional love you may have felt for anyone else. Relax, there is absolutely nothing you can do that will even in the smallest way reduce your Father's love for you. Knowing that, as deep within yourselves you do, then intend to be always and only loving, and observe how your life changes from one of worry and anxiety to one of peace, joy, and contentment. You will also notice how all your relationships change for the better, because of the loving energy field that extends from you to all with whom you interact, physically, psychologically, spiritually, and electronically. As the Andrew Lloyd Webber song from his musical Aspects of Love maintains, love changes everything. And you will discover how true that is. Love is feared by many, because it involves trust, and many have had their trust betrayed while incarnate as humans. Love is the only reality. Betrayal is of the illusion. It is like a preemptive strike against an enemy, and it is nearly always responded to in kind, intensifying the sense of bitterness that led to it in the first place. All attacks come from an intense sense of inner pain, and possibly shame, that the individual desperately needs to dispose of, and he does so by projecting it outwards onto another, whence it is returned, intensified, often instantly. Those who claim to be defending love by attacks on another, or on a philosophy, or a religious or political opinion or dogma, are in fact reacting out of fear, because they feel their own beliefs threatened. For many their beliefs are the apparently stable ground on which they stand secure and safe, until someone else disproves them, whereupon they engage in conflict, personal or far more widely spread, to prove themselves right and the other wrong, thus hoping to re-establish the seemingly firm ground they believe supports them. Love does not attack, nor does it defend itself. It has no need. Love is unassailable power and cannot be defeated. It does not take sides and is beyond conflict. It would stand between those in conflict, gently encouraging them to disarm. Love can resolve conflict, whereas conflict can only lead to more conflict. This has been demonstrated innumerable times throughout your history, and yet you have frequently resorted to conflict in the mistaken belief that force will prevail, leading to eons of pain and suffering. The love now flooding across your beautiful planet and flowing abundantly into the hearts of God's beloved children will resolve the eons of conflict that have weighed you down for so long. You all want peace, but many, living in fear, believe that the way to achieve it was through even more forceful conflict, and you even engaged in a number of wars to end all wars. Finally, a large enough percentage of the human collective has come to the awareness of the futility of this approach, and has chosen love over fear. As the divine love field continues to expand and intensify in accordance with humanity's collective choice and decision to engage fully with it, the conflicts across the planet, on every level, will wind down as peace unfolds. Peace is normal, conflict is insane, and yet for eons the opposite belief has prevailed. Where you focus your attention brings into your lives the events that resonate with that focus. Focus on love, your natural and unchanging state, and just allow fear to fall away, as it will when you focus on love. Remember, love changes everything, so engage with love to change your lives and dissolve the illusion. Your loving brother, Jesus. Channeled by John Smallman. johnsmallman2.wordpress.com